All right, let's talk about gaslighting today. Gaslighting, if you don't know what the definition is, gaslighting is the idea of being able to infiltrate and affect someone else's perspective so that they believe what was true actually didn't happen. So that that person sees and experiences a reality that didn't ever exist. Gaslighting is one of the most extreme manipulative measures that a narcissist will use to control their victims and to manipulate them into a place of submission and to control them. With narcissism, gaslighting is an effective tool that the narcissists use to throw people off of what's actually going on, convince them that they're actually crazy, assure them that they're actually doing the right thing in a loving relationship, and make them think that everything's okay when it's not. If you're new here, my name is Ben Taylor. I'm a self-aware narcissist, and I've been working constantly to develop myself and to grow through this. I have a very analytical mindset, so I try to break down narcissism in bite-sized chunks so that people understand on a day-to-day basis how this stuff works and the shit that it produces on a day-to-day basis in people's lives, that destroys family, that almost destroyed mine, and that I'm still working to grow and to develop. And gaslighting, like I said, is a very extremely manipulative tool that a narcissist will use. So why does it come up? Typically, gaslighting comes up when there's been a call out, when there's been a sense of accountability, when there's been a sense of truth that comes up that the narcissist doesn't want to deal with. Now, that could be you calling out your narcissist about cheating. That could be you calling out your narcissist about being on their phone. That could be you calling out your narcissist on finding the condom in the trash can. It could literally be anything and everything. And what they'll do is they'll take that reality, that truth that you experience, and they'll distort it. They'll change it. Because if they can change your perception, if they can change your reality, they control your life. That's why it's one of the most manipulative things that a narcissist can do. So with gaslighting, let's kind of break it down a little bit. Like I mentioned, gaslighting is the idea of completely distorting your reality, kind of changing that. So let's give an example. So a simple example of gaslighting would be along the lines, I'll give this example. One time we were sitting at the dinner table and my daughter came up and she's like 2 and she lined up like her Paw Patrol. So she like laid them out and she was like calling my name. And I looked at the one she was calling and I was like, no, it's not that name, it's this name. And I used one of the Rocky or Rebel names. And as I was looking at it, I was like, it's this name, it's Rebel, okay? And then my wife was like, no, like it's Rocky. So I was like, no, that's Rebel. So my wife was like, okay. Like she pulled it up, she showed me her phone, she was like, I was right. That my wife was right, okay? So as soon as she was right, the first thing that popped in my head was like, yeah, that's what I said. Completely gaslighting her to make her doubt her reality about what was actually happening. Now that's a silly example. That's a small example, and that's example now that I can call out easy because it's something that I've been working on my growth and my healing. But you take it to another example, and you've got the narcissist that was cheating on his wife. And she came home and she opened up the trash can. She saw in the trash can, she saw a condom. And that condom was sitting in the trash can. She knows it's not from them because they hadn't had sex in a couple of weeks. And she knows that her husband's acting really sketchy. So she's like, hey, did you see that condom is in the trash can? Why in the world is that in the trash can? What's going on? All this kind of stuff. The husband goes down to the trash can, takes out the condom, throws it away in another trash can, hides it, goes back up and tells the wife, what are you talking about? There's no condom in the trash can. I don't know why you would even think that I would be cheating on you. And like that wasn't even there. She doesn't believe him. He makes her go down, dig through the whole trash to be able to prove that there was no condom. That's the extreme form of gaslighting that makes people doubt their reality. I'm talking about the person that dropped their partner off at someone else's house with all their belongings, saying they never want to see them again, and drove off. Later came back 4 hours later and said, what are you talking about? I just said I was going to the store. Like, get in the car, let's go. Complete gaslighting to be able to distort and dissolve the reality and the truth around you that you know. This is why a lot of times when people start recognizing that there's abuse going on, that there's emotional, mental, and even physical abuse going on, they'll start recording stuff. They'll start writing stuff down because they're afraid, like, am I actually going crazy? Am I actually going insane? But what's actually happening a lot of times is the narcissist is trying to distort and twist that reality so that the other person doesn't have a reality to stand on. You see, as the narcissist, if I can distort your reality, if I can distract you in that moment by putting you into a completely separate reality, I've distracted you from the original thing. I don't know how many times I've talked to people on one-on-one appointments, and I've talked to them as they're dealing with their narcissist, as they're working through stuff, and they'll say, oh, I brought up this subject. I brought up the fact that he's cheating on me, and then this whole thing came out, and they was making me not believe that, like, I paid for the car. He's making me not believe that I got into an accident. He's making me not believe, like, all this stuff. And then I asked them, I was like, did you ever revisit, like, the aspect of cheating? And they were like, no. Like, I forgot about that. Because that is the purpose and the intent of gaslighting. To be able to prove to you that something that was real never happened and to distract you from the accountability that you bring up. And that is what a narcissist does. Gaslighting is extremely dangerous. It's something that you have to watch out for, and you have to be careful. And you have to understand what's true and what's not. You see, as a narcissist, my goal is to put that person into a fog. My goal is to take the reality that you see on a day-to-day basis. My goal as a narcissist is to take that reality and not always completely change it, but put you in a fog. Because if you can't see right, left, up, down, forward, backwards, if you can't see what's actually true, you have nothing to guide you. You have nothing to see which direction you need to take. You have nothing to see which decision is the right decision. You have nothing to see what's actually valid and what's actually false when it comes to the narcissist. So as a result, you are in a giant fog. And that fog is so hard for you to be able to see anything else. But the narcissist creates that fog and likes that fog because of this reason. When you put someone into a fog that you created, that means typically you're the one to lead them out. That's what the narcissist thinks. Is that true? No. You can be in power of your decisions. You can be in power of yourself. You can break through that fog, but that comes to you dealing with the facts. And if you don't deal with the facts, you'll be lost in the fog. And that narcissist will have that fog all around you with lies, with manipulation, with gaslighting, with future faking, with changing everything that you see in your personality and your life. And they will completely confuse, disorient you. And then they'll tell you, hey, you need to go this way. Hey, you need to change that. Hey, you need to go on a weight loss program. Hey, you're looking too old. Hey, you really think you should be doing that? And they'll start breaking you down piece by piece to the point that there's nothing there, and the only thing you're going for is another hit off of the narcissist. Is another moment of slight validation. Narcissists will put you in a fog so that they can control you. The thing is, you can break free. You can be free from that fog. But you have to deal with the facts. You have to deal with the truth of the situation. Otherwise, you will be distracted and you will be fogged up by feelings and you won't know where to go. You won't know what decisions to make. You won't know what truth to believe. Dealing with the facts is 100% how you need to escape from that. If you haven't seen from my channel, I've got a video on here about breaking the trauma bond with a narcissist. And that talks you through an actual exercise that you can do on a day-to-day basis that will help you break through the fog by dealing with the feelings, by dealing with the fable, by acknowledging the facts of the situation and finding out what the truth is and setting you free with that. If you like what you see here and you want to interact more on a one-on-one basis where we talk through some of this stuff on a one-on-one level, diving into the stuff that you've dealt with, diving in with the abuse that you've had to deal with, and diving into the feelings and the fable that's gone on in your life due to the fog that the narcissist has put around you, I would love to talk to you. reach out to me at my website, rawmotivations.com, click on one-on-ones, and we can set down a time and talk and be able to see where you're at, see where you need to go, and see how we can get you there. That's my goal on this channel, on these platforms, to bring awareness about narcissism, growth, healing, and change. I hope I can do that for you. If you don't subscribe already, please hit the subscribe button for me. If you're on other platforms, like follow me. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Would love to have your support there. We go live on some of those platforms at different times of the week as well. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.